Hey, good morning. How are you guys? So, as you know, we had our conference last week, and I talked about non-grant funding. So, injecting different funding streams into your nonprofit organization so that you can achieve sustainability. Because, like we all know, grant funding is like gambling, it's like playing the lottery, right? So, I think two different industries had a really hard time wrapping their minds around how they can interject various income streams into their organization. And those were people who dealt with the unhoused population and those who dealt with reentry population. So today I'm going to talk about the unhoused population, and tomorrow I'm going to talk about the reentry population. And I'm not going to give you all the details about it, but I just want you to get your mind started thinking about the different types of income streams that you can have in your nonprofit, even if the people who you serve cannot afford to pay for anything, right? Because that's not who you're selling to. You're selling to people who can afford. So I have my notes here, so I'm just going to go through a few of them for you. If you deal with the unhoused population, I want you to open your minds. Open your mind. You have to open your mind in order to see what I'm saying. If you're closed off to it, then you're not going to be able to see it. You have to be flexible in your nonprofit in order to have various income streams. If you're relying on one, that's why most of you are suffering. So let me go through a few of the types of income streams that you can have in your organization if you deal with the unhoused population. Of course, we know about municipal funding. If you live in a state, most states have on the municipality level or on the county level or the state level, they have funding for the unhoused population. You just have to make sure that you're doing what's necessary to get those fundings. And the first thing you need to do is to register in SAM and then become a vendor in your state. You have corporate sponsors and partnerships that you can have, because most corporations, large corporations, have what's called CRS, which is corporate social responsibility, and they have initiatives that they fund on a yearly basis. You need to get familiar with those ones. And like I told them, when at the conference, you need to make sure that you're part of your chamber, not just your municipality chamber, but the larger chamber where all of the bigwigs go and, commune, right? To say that. Starting a social enterprise, whether that's putting a nonprofit, a for-profit in your nonprofit and becoming a hybrid, or just interjecting earned income in your nonprofit. You have fee for services and programs. Like one of the ideas I gave to someone was creating the care packages that you give to the homeless people, but you're not going to charge the unhoused population for it. You're going to have it as a way for people to donate to your organization. So instead of asking for bars of soap or toothpaste or whatever it is, you are going to create the packages and put a price on it. And of course, there's going to be a profit margin that you're going to get. And people can donate by buying those packages by the 5s, 10s, 20s, however you choose to make your packages. But of course, you're going to put your profit on it. So you're not only paying the base price that the package costs, but you're actually getting some money on top of it. Making sure you have a robust donor program. When I say robust, a lot of you do not look for real donors. And this one goes for everybody. The fee for service and the donor programs go for everybody. You have to make sure that you are putting yourself out there, making sure that people know who you are and what you do and the transformative effects that you have on your community or the population that you're serving. But you have to be looking for donors at various levels. Those who are going to give you once in a blue moon, those who are going to commit to some type of monthly subscription, those who are going to be part of like your capital campaign, whatever it is, you need to make sure you have a robust donor program. And that's a whole class unto itself on how to get donors at various levels over a continuous period of time. You can look into real estate. Right now, there's some fundings that a lot of states have to help to build or to rehab homes so that people can use them for the unhoused population. Looking into doing things like that will help you. Of course, that's a lot more details. Events and fundraising, right? A lot of you don't participate in having events that are specific to your industry or fundraising because it takes a lot of time and it does take a lot of resources. But with good planning, you can have these events and fundraisers. So we're talking stuff like gala. And if you have a gala and you really plan for it, you can be making anywhere from $150 to $250,000 a year. But of course, you can't charge $50 as admission for that gala, right? You have to really start with a budget and then work backwards to make sure that you are going to be making the profit that you need. It does take planning. It does take coordination. Walkathons, peer-to-peer fundraising, year-end fundraising, which we're going to be talking a lot about in the upcoming weeks, right? Giving Tuesday. All of these are different fundraising campaigns that you could be getting yourself into. Merchandising, as long as it stays committed to your mission, right? You can talk about crowdfunding campaigns. Those are another one that you can talk about. And I talked about endowments and bequeathments, okay? But specific to your organization, what you can think about is affordable housing development. That does take a lot of time, but it is a way to have consistent revenue in your organization if you're set up correctly. Shelter services with government contracts. You can have a lot, like I said, a lot of municipalities, a lot of counties, a lot of states, and the federal government has monies for these things, right? Healthcare partners, partnering with hospitals, insurance companies, getting Medicare certified, getting counseling groups together. All of these are ways that you can be putting money into your pocket, because if someone is unhoused, their only problem is not being unhoused. There's a slew of other issues that they may have. Some of these problems you may be able to solve and make as an earned income. Other of them, you'll have to do wraparound services and partner with other nonprofit organizations to get them those wraparound services that they need. Another one is supportive employment programs. A lot of people, again, their only problem is not being unhoused. If you are unhoused, there's a slew of other issues that are happening that caused you to become unhoused. Mental health issues, skill gaps, you name it. There are a ton of things. So having supportive employment programs, and those can be, you're not going to only use it for the unhoused population, because you are creating comparable services to everybody else. Your services are not subpar. Your services are on par with every other person, for-profit business, whatever. So you can also market these services to people who are not unhoused, but still have a skills gap that they need to fill. And then another one would be homeless outreach programs. So these are, again, a lot of money on the state, federal and municipality level. And I'm not just talking about grants, we're talking about contracts. And a lot of you need to look into that. That can help you with the outreach program, because there's a lot that the states can't do themselves. They can't hire enough people to do the work. And they subcontract these things out to nonprofit organizations who meet that specific population. So those are just a few for the people who deal with the unhoused population. I hope that you gathered something from it, because I know, again, a lot of you are closed off mentally to creating multiple streams of income that do not have anything to do with grants, but you have to open your minds. That's why so many minority operated nonprofit organizations tend to have their doors closed, or the founders /EDs are using all of their savings, their retirement. They're practically feeling like they're begging for money at this point in time because they don't have their systems set up correctly. Like, I was shocked by the amount of people who don't have a business plan. I was shocked by the amount of people who've never done a logic model. I'm shocked by the amount of people who don't have a strategic plan, a fund development plan, a marketing plan, right? Or a fundraising plan. You have to have these things in place to develop multiple streams of income. And you have to, again, have an open mind. to develop multiple streams of income. Grants are not the beginning all to end all. They're great when you get them, but what do you do when you don't get them? You need to have multiple streams of income. So I hope that helped. Leave some comments below if you have questions. I'm doing a webinar on the 16th. I want to say, yes, the 16th on year-end fundraising. I suggest that you sign up to be in that webinar because I'm going to be dropping a lot more gems. All right, have a great rest of your Saturday.